Hello and welcome back to another video by Scaler where we are going to sit and nag about how work from home is tiring us. But that's not it. We will discuss how we can make it fun, more productive and efficient so you can enjoy the perks of working from home rather than overworking. There was a time when working from home meant going home and working overtime because we did not meet our deadlines. This included working post dinner and even on weekends sometime. But COVID not just changed our personal lifestyles, it got us to adapt this new way of working. Work from home literally felt like childhood vacation when it first started. We all were excited just to be at home and do things in our time and manner, and slowly the fun started to fade away and we started missing the social interaction. All the weekend plans, pantry conversation, potlucks were missed more than ever. And you know how it goes. When your heart's not in something, your productivity is bound to take a hit. It is easier to work with colleagues because the office in general gives the work vibe that your house won't. Especially a place you literally come back and chill normally. Turning this comfort place into an office has surely been a task for you and I and everyone else. And hence, today we are going to talk about how we can stay productive, bring efficiency in our timetable, and make the best out of this situation. Today, we will discuss how you can turn a part of your house into a workstation, how you can draw boundaries during work hours, and manage your day in a way that work doesn't take a hit. Beginning with setting up your space. There are literally plenty of reasons why office brings out the work mode out of you. But since the pandemic, access to that has changed and we have adapted to working from home. But when we say workspace, a lot of factors come into the play. The lights, the color of your wall, your surrounding, minimal aesthetics and so much more. When you look at these things in an office, you simply think that's alright, it's done to set up a pretty look. But it means so much more than that. The shades of your light to its placement, things around your desktop or laptop, the place where you set up all of this plays a huge role not just in your work but your mood to work every day. So when you are setting up your space, start with finding the quietest space in your house. A place where not a lot of family members keep coming, so even their routine or movement is not restricted. After you have picked your spot, let's focus on essentials that needs to be around. So say you picked a corner of your room. Set up a table where you could place your laptop or desktop and now see how much space is there. Leave a room for a water bottle because you don't want to leave your spot every now and then because you are thirsty. Set up a small house plant or something that would make your space a little lively. If you are a fan of good lights, there are plenty of affordable lights that you could shop online or even from thrift stores. Make sure that you communicate with your family beforehand that you would expect privacy in this space so your work quality doesn't take a hit. The reason it is essential to set up your space rather than working from bed or wherever you sit in your house is because the notion that it is your comfort place will make it difficult for you to stay focused. You will think, okay, I will lay down for a little while and work, but not too soon before your pace slows down or you stop working completely. Hence, it is crucial that you have a dedicated space in your house. Now, we don't need to be inconsiderate about the ones who can barely separate the space because of extra family members or less room in the house. It's completely normal. In such case, what you could do is communicate with your family prior that you would appreciate if they won't interrupt you in your working hours. You can tell them to not mix personal requests at your work hours, and that way you can strike a balance even though you are low on privacy. Next up, make sure you do have a to-do list. Now you will definitely have a weekly task from your company, but you need to make a to-do list of your own. When you are at the comfort of your own home, it becomes a natural tendency to stall things for convenience. This doesn't necessarily mean that you will stall your work, but even your daily routine like taking shower, grabbing breakfast in morning itself and so on. Coming from a very personal experience, I have been in a loop of starting my day slowly by stalling these activities which would in return hamper my work schedule. I used to be chill about the fact that alright, I have to stay home and work, so there's no rush. But once it's noon, you won't even know how soon it'll be evening and there goes a huge pile of work unattended. Hence, make a to-do list. Assign time for every activity. Keep a deadline for yourself. Say if you have to finish a small portion of work, it has to be done between 1 or 2, so then you can have lunch by 2 to 2:30. If you make a timeline for yourself, you will not get too caught up with social media scrolling or chit-chatting here and there, because you will be dedicated to move on to the next thing. This way, you will be able to plan your days better and make time for personal activities as well. So either wake up each day and give yourself a to-do list, or make a weekly list to not make it a monotonous task either. Third, avoid burnouts. Anything done out of proportion can never be healthy. Be it overeating, overdrinking, or even overworking. Burnouts prove to be the reason so many people start developing hate for their profession. You can face burnout for either of these reasons. Maybe you are working more than you should be for the day to stay occupied, or because the workload is unreasonable, or that you stalled your work for too long. Now you have no option but to continuously keep working until it's over. This is where you need to make boundaries your best friend. Start marking limits on the amount of work you aim to finish today. If you don't prioritize yourself, nobody is going to sit and look after you. So practice self-care. Make sure you are doing some activities that don't involve your work or you have to be answerable for. Take small strolls, talk to your closed ones, do your favorite activity. It could be literally anything, not necessarily creative or productive. We all need breathing space, and especially when your house turns into a workplace, those lines get blurred. If the workload is getting unreasonably high, then make sure you communicate it with your team and try to bring it down to the decent amount. The point here is to strike a balance. Learn to say no to things. Learn to put yourself first. Don't make work your escape from problems that you don't want to deal with. Eventually, all of these decisions will come back to you. So avoid burnout. Next up, make sure you dress up. Believe me, if I could record this video in PJs, I quite literally would have. But you know what would be different? My energy as I speak to you all. Psychology proves that dressing up puts you in a better mood. When you look better, you feel better. So it sounds vague, but it's true. Consciously or subconsciously, your appearance doesn't become a point of concern when you are dressed well, which makes it easier for you to focus on other things. While I could be here with signing an official petition to normalize PJs everywhere, PJs will be better after a long day of work. Okay, let me put it this way. If you loved pizza, you would claim so hard that I could eat it for the rest of my life. But we all know, maximum 1 week, we would feel very different about it. It's literally the same with our comfort clothes. And since working from home, you would feel why or not I should be even dressing up well, but these little things will help you get into a better mood, which will make your performance better. So say, combing your hair, wearing your favorite t-shirt, exercising a little will help you lighten up your mood while you are working. It's like feeling at office without being at one. These little efforts truly make a difference. So even though you don't believe what I am suggesting, just try it out for a week and tell me if you feel different or not. Moving on, make sure you keep a tab on your diet. Wow, I still remember when the lockdown had started, so did my habit of giving into the hunger pangs. For a lot of people, fitness remains the key reason to tap on the diet, but it has a lot to do with your ability to stay productive. What you consume can really affect your mood and your ability to work through the day. Say if you consume too much sugar or rice throughout the day, you are going to feel drowsy and your productivity will take a hit. Instead, start replacing your junk food with healthy munchies. You could always grab fruits or something as light as popcorns. They are easily accessible and wouldn't consume a lot of your energy. If you are a tea or a coffee drinker, me being one myself, I recommend cutting down on sugar. The thought of black coffee at first would make me feel really weird. But then I thought to myself, rather than consuming 2 huge cups of milk coffee with sugar, I could switch to black coffee and it wouldn't keep me at a cliffhanger like a milk coffee does. The caffeine does its job, but sugar present in it kills the purpose of caffeine. And try to focus on your diet even though you are not a fitness freak. Because it is very easy to lose control of what you are consuming, quantity and frequency of it. All of this can also affect your health after all, which again will compromise your productivity. Hence, eat healthy and pick better alternatives. Last but not the least, interact with the team. Working from home can really make you feel isolated and distant from people you would normally call your second family. If it were for normal times, we would be spending more time with people at work than people at home, and now there's barely any interaction at all. Hence, make sure you are proactive and take initiatives to host interaction sessions from time to time. This way, you wouldn't feel disconnected from the people you work with and still feel involved. This can get even more difficult for someone who has just joined the company by working from home and have never met anyone in person. Interaction will really help you feel included and known. We are all social animals after all. Call it introvert or extrovert. We all need basic interaction. It's just that the intensity varies from introvert to extrovert. So say your company is not taking initiative, make sure you do. Reach out to your colleagues and try to have normal conversations. Try to learn about other team members, how does the company function, and so on. This connection will make you feel to want to work more, because then it's no longer a stranger giving you a task list, but colleagues aiming to meet the target together. Hence, interact. Some of these suggestions may seem out of your comfort zone, but we have to find a way to come around. New ways demand for newer approaches, and if work from home demands this, then be it. I can tell you with all the faith I have in me that you got this. Just try and strive for balance throughout your day. Focus on the bigger picture and set your priorities accordingly. What may seem like just an associate job right now is a stepping stone for you to reach to a senior position. The moment you start focusing on the bigger picture, you will be able to tackle the momentary distractions well. Working from home a year ago seemed pretty unreal, but now a lot of firms plan to make it the new normal even after the pandemic. Hence, you need to upgrade your ways of working around these changes too. Besides all of this, let's actually look at the brighter side of the deal. If you wrap your work sooner, you could give more time to your family and friends rather than cancelling on plans for piled up work. We truly hope that these tips help you maximize your productivity and meet the end goal sooner than you hope. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any other update from Scaler. Thank you.